But right now we're going to talk about some fresh ideas for your garden. If you didn't know, I have my very first garden. I'm so excited about it. The folks at the Green Bay Botanical Garden have helped me plant it and have been taking care of it. And I went out there recently and picked some lettuce, took Ireland. It was so much fun. But anyway, Mark Conlock has an update on my garden and some tips for your garden too.
Well, Amy's garden is looking pretty good here at Green Bay Botanical Garden. So good, in fact, it's time to harvest some of the cool season crops and make room for some of our warm season crops. So these little bok choys we planted in the front are ready to go out and be harvested and used. So either you can pull stuff out of the ground if you're not going to make too much of a mess and disturb anything next to it, or the other thing you can do is take a scissors and just cut things out of the ground. This one's a little hard, but it worked out all right. That's a good way to harvest the lettuce if you wanted to come back and try to harvest some more of it later on. For example, on my deck I have a little container and I cut it down and it's already starting to sprout again where I could harvest some more if I wanted to. The problem is some of these cool season crops, once it gets warmer, they don't taste quite as good. They get a little bit bitter. So we'll just go ahead and take our lettuce out of this garden and harvest it, and Amy can use it to make something, or we'll donate it to a local food pantry. Usually I just put it in a plastic bag after I wash it off and then bring it to the pantry that way. That's a good way to reuse all these bags that you get at the grocery store. I know Amy already harvested some of the lettuce to make a little salad, so we'll just keep going where she started when she was here. We can just take this whole line down with the scissors, and then eventually we'll come back and pull it all out of the ground so that we have room for our warm season crops. Some of the warm season crops we could plant are corn, cucumbers. We're going to try some of this edamame, soybean, zucchini, peppers, tomatoes, eggplants, beans, squash, melons. There's all kinds of great things to plant now that the soil started to warm up a little bit more. To plant these cucumbers, I'm going to make a little hill in the middle of our trellis system, because what we'll do is, to save space, we'll grow them up on here. Now this doesn't look like the most strong thing in the world, but it'll work for what we're doing. So we'll plant about maybe 6 seeds in here, just pushing them down about 2 to 3 times their thickness. And then when they start to grow, we'll thin them out. We're going to thin it out to about 1 plant per leg of the trellis here. So we planted about 8 seeds, so we'll have to thin them out if they all germinate, and we'll just have 1. So sometimes you have to be ruthless, but that way you get a bigger crop and you get better airflow through the plants. We've taken out our lettuce and bok choy, and now we're going to plant some eggplants in here. These are 3 All-America selection winners. One is Fairy Tale, one's Hansel, and one's Gretel, so they kind of all go together. And they're ones that have been bred specifically to grow small and to be grown in containers potentially if you want to, so that you don't need a huge amount of space but you still get an eggplant. And also they're really thin and they mature so that they're edible over a longer period of time, so you can either harvest them right away or you can wait and they don't get as many seeds and they don't get an off flavor as they get larger. So that's the improvement of those particular eggplants, excuse me. The other thing we're going to plant is the Scotch bonnet pepper. Now this is a little small, but this is something I know Amy really wanted because of its flavor and Caribbean cooking and spiciness. So we got some seeds. They're a little small, but we're going to give them a shot and see if we can't get a Scotch bonnet for you, Amy. We have a selection of different tomatoes we're going to be planting in the garden. One of them is called Sweet Seedless, and it's supposed to be the first seedless tomato on the market. So that'll be interesting. We'll try that out and see if it is truly seedless. We also have one over here called Black Truffle, which is a really dark tomato and juicy and dark, hence the name Black Truffle. We'll try that out. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we have a little small one called Italian Ice, which is just a little small treat tomato that you can just kind of picnic on. And that's almost a pure white cream color, so we'll try that as well. So we'll have a little variety of things that can be used in the garden and in cooking as well. Hey, Amy's garden is looking pretty good. We have a wide variety of things in here. Hope you like it.